Hey, what's up and hello. This is the Chris Nicole bringing you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on what time you are watching this live. Hello, crew. Hope all is well. Please let me know you are in the building, even for new watchers. Hello, welcome, welcome. Hit the like button on the way in. My girl Nene is here. Hey, Nene. Say hello, you guys. We don't bite over here. We're family over here. Yeah. And so, since we're family, you already know I'm about to go in tonight. I am. Hey, Alicia, girl. So I actually planned on doing the worst roommate ever. Okay. I planned on doing that tonight. I'm going to do it tomorrow night. Hey, fabulous me. I'm going to do it tomorrow night. But the plan was doing it tonight until I saw this nonsense. Okay. So Tyler Perry. Hey, Shayla. Tyler Perry. So Tyler Perry, as you know, I did a review on Tyler Perry's new movie, Divorce in the Black. You guys already know my take on it. And for those who don't know my take, you can go to my live section and find the review and you can hear my take on that movie. And clearly, I am not the only one who feels the same way. Because not only do I feel this way, a lot of other critics who are commentators on social media, they feel the same way. And also, Rotten Tomatoes feels the same way, okay? Because this has been a big thing with Rotten Tomatoes. Divorce in the Black got a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, okay? 0%. Reviews, but still 0%. Now, the audience score is 74, but as far as actual movie critics, 0%, all right? And that's been a big thing too. So, we've talked about this and how, in my personal opinion, this is my opinion, Tyler, he's not in it for the artistry. He's in it for the business. He's in it for the money. And because he has a cult-like following that will watch anything that he does, he's going to continue to do the same things over and over again because he has that cult-like following and it guarantees him money. So again, in my opinion, I don't see Tyler Perry as an artist. I see him as a businessman. You already know, for people who have been with me from the beginning, I did another actual video on Tyler Perry about allegedly the things that he has done when it came to him making his way up in his career. Everything from Miss Sophia, for those who know who Miss Sophia is, I believe she was on V103 in Atlanta. But Miss Sophia is a part of the LGBTQIA community in Atlanta, and her character that she did in the gay nightclubs back in the early 90s and mid 90s, they have said for years, allegedly, that's where Tyler Perry got the Medea character from. So, and I showed you guys also news articles of him apparently taking certain ideas, scripts, all that stuff. So you guys already know how I feel about people who allegedly take other people's artistry and make so much money off of it. And yet the person who actually is the originator is making pennies, if anything at all. Okay. So with that being said, why are we here today? Well, Kiki Palmer, which I love Kiki Palmer. I did not know she was a Virgo. That was one thing that she said in her interview yesterday. Oh, we're both Virgos. I was like, I'm shocked Kiki Palmer's a Virgo. But then when I looked it up, she's an August Virgo, like Shayla girl. So I was like, that's why. Because August Virgos, like, yeah, all day, every day. But yeah, she's an August Virgo. And so she actually was in one of Tyler Perry's Medea movies. I can't remember which one, but she did state that she was like 10 or 11 years old when that first one came out, like when she actually worked with Tyler Perry. So I will say that I thought it was pretty cool that she worked with him when she was younger. Now she's an adult with a child, and she actually interviewed him, and he was willing to be interviewed by her, which I thought was pretty cool. I was typing, she's look, do you think he is going to age out soon? Yeah, we're going to get into that, Fabulous Me. Yeah, we're going to get into that. Yes, Shayla's like, yes. She's definitely an August. And I think you can tell with August ones because they do kind of have that Leo tendency. But yeah, so with that being said, he did a podcast with her, like an interview. And there's actually another scene. I'm going to show you the clip that everybody is actually talking about. But there's also another part that I want to show you guys too. But this is the main part that we're going to talk about right now. And I just felt like it was manipulation, gaslighting at its finest. Sorry, but it was. And I'm sick of this shit. I truly think that what he did here was quite interesting how he tried to play it, because from what I've seen, no one even said this. So let me play this, and this is fair use, okay? This is fair use, YouTube, fair use. Kiki, my girl, love you down. Please don't be trying to flag my stuff. This is fair use. It's on YouTube. I see other people doing this clip. I am just a small channel. Fair use. I got to say that 50 times over. Okay. What's up, Lansky? So yes, fair use. So we're going to actually listen to this, and then I'm going to come back. All right. All right. So let me play it here. I have it at the mark. So let's go. And let me know if you guys can hear it too.
Love that you've never allowed that criticism to stop you from being able to have your authentic voice as an artist, because it does get really difficult.
Yeah, but what? No. You got to drown all of that out, because if you let somebody talk you out of a place that God has put you in, you are going to find yourself in hell. I know for a fact that what I'm doing is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, because for everyone who is a critic, I have thousands of used to be emails from people saying, this changed my life. Oh my God, you know me. Oh my God, you saw me. How did you know this about my life, my family? So that is what is important to me. We're talking a large portion of my fans who are disenfranchised, who cannot get in the Volvo and go to therapy on the weekend. So you've got this highbrow Negro who is all up in the air with his nose up looking at everything. And then you got people like where I come from and me who are grinders, who really know what it's like, whose mothers and were caregivers for white kids and were maids and housekeepers and all of these beauticians. That don't discount these people and say that their story don't matter. Who are you to be able to say which Black story is important or should be told? Get out of here with that bullshit.
Yes, and that.
Okay, so first things first. One thing I don't like, and you guys already know, for those who've been with me from the beginning, I am a firm believer in God. I am a Christian. But in my opinion, I feel like Tyler Perry tries to put God in certain situations, because then at that point, people can't question him or critique him with the stuff that he puts out. Okay. Now, he can always say, God called him to do this. But in my opinion, when you allegedly have to take other people's stuff, whether you want to say it's inspiration or also AKA stealing, when you allegedly have to steal other people's stuff to get where you are, I don't think that's God's calling. Sorry, I just don't. I don't. And so, and unfortunately, that has been, like I said, the rumor for decades at this point. So that's one of the first things he said: when God calls you, sir, I don't think God called you to make these type of movies. Nope. Sorry, I don't think so. I don't think that's the case. But another thing is that he tried to make it seem like, in my opinion, that highbrow Negroes are the ones who are complaining. Sir, first of all, you live in a $100 million mansion. Now, for those highbrow, some people look at highbrow as intellectual, like scholarly. Typically, when I hear highbrow, that's an insult. It's shady because typically when you hear highbrow, it's like you're snobby. You're like looking down on people. That to me is when it's typically said. And based off of this, to me, that's the way he meant it. But sir, let's be clear. Yeah, you are considered highbrow at this point, considering like you, and why the hell do you need a $100 million mansion? I mean, it's your money, do what the hell you want to do, but you would be considered highbrow. And the true highbrow people of this world, which I think he's trying to interpret as the black bourgeoisie, they don't look at your movies. They don't look at your shows. It is your everyday folks who look at your actual stuff. And a lot of the times, I personally don't think it's because a lot of them enjoy it. I think a lot of them watch it because they're either hoping that this time you're going to get it right or they want a good laugh. Okay. But to try to imply, oh, well, who are you to say, you know, what black story should be told? And I deal with the people who can't go to therapy in their Volvo. Sir, no one said you can't tell different black stories. I haven't even seen a video yet where someone is saying you can't tell these black stories. The problem is you tell the same story over and over and over again with plot holes. It's always a woman who's being abused. It's always a man who's not treating her right. And then her knight in shining Negro comes and saves her from depression. It's the same thing over and over again. No one is saying that you can't make different black stories and black stories for the everyday black person. We are saying that you need writers. That's what we're saying. We're saying you need writers, period. But the fact that you just gaslight that situation to make it seem like it's the uppity black people who are critiquing your stuff, you're full of it. It's everyday people who have 9 to 5s. If anybody's an uppity Negro at this point, it would be you. It would be you. For you to even go there and say that, to me, that was very highbrow of you. So I find it interesting that he did that and literally try to say, oh, it's the highbrow Negroes looking down at people. No, sir. No. Like, it's no. And at the end of the day, he's saying that, you know, one thing he also said is that he used to get emails and people saying, thank you for, you know, this is my life or whatever the case may be. But the biggest word is used to. Used to. So are you saying that this is dwindling now and you're not getting those same type of emails? I think, and Fabulous Me, I'm going to get back to what you asked earlier. I think he has a cult following where no matter what he puts out, there are going to be people that are going to watch. But yes, I do feel like people eventually are going to fade out, and they may already be fading out. Because here's the thing. Tyler Perry, Divorced in the Black was, I believe, #1 in the world, but it was on streaming. Okay. And we talked about this during the strike and the issues with streaming and how you can't really modify, like you can't really know how well something is doing on streaming because those numbers aren't actually put out there, or there's no way to actually put official data or how to obtain official data when it comes to streaming. So when someone says that their movie was #1 in the world for streaming, One would probably think that's millions on top of millions of people, but that's not like Nelson. Like Nelson was like one of those back in the day, and I still think, of course, they have it where they used to be able to rate how many people watch the shows based on broadcast shows and cable shows. Well, streaming doesn't have that. So while it was number one, you don't necessarily know how many people watched it. You don't know. And honestly, you can kind of manipulate the numbers to from my understanding, they don't have to give out the numbers, and then if they do, you don't necessarily know if they're true or not, from my understanding. So to say that a streaming, like something streaming where if you have Amazon Prime, you pretty much can get any of their original stuff, to say that something is streaming and is number one in the world, I don't know if that's necessarily bragging rights. Now, if you were in the movie theater and you were number one in the world, hell yeah, that's bragging rights. But streaming, yeah, I don't know if you can actually say that. So the last not good did was, and here's the thing, and I said this the last time. Family That Prays was good. I mentioned that in my last video. So how is it that the same person who wrote A Family That Prays wrote Divorce in the Black and this Maricopa, Copa, whatever you guys are talking about? You know what I mean? Like, how was it that the same person wrote that? How is it that the same person who wrote The Family That Prays wrote Divorce in the Black, or the same person who did Divorce in the Black did Jasmine? Apparently he did this movie called Jasmine Blues or Jazzman Blues or something like that. Apparently that was a really good movie. I just don't see how you have a couple of gems and then everything else is your same freaking plot, but you wrote all of that. Now, that's just my opinion. You wrote the gems and you wrote the what the F's. I don't know. Something ain't right in that situation. It just isn't. Now, again, I don't know if you guys heard, because I think I mentioned before Walter Lee Hampton on one of my actual videos. He was the one who aired out Tyler Perry years ago. I think that was one of his like first videos that got like over 1 million views. He actually knew Tyler Perry in Atlanta, like back in the early 90s. And he, outed Tyler, even though he claims that you can't out a man who was already outed. But he allegedly said, Tyler is a part of the community, and how he said he can't come out because of the church community. You guys can look him up, Walter Lee Hampton. It's on his page. But let him tell it on one of his videos. He also said that allegedly Tyler Perry was never homeless, because that was one thing that he claimed was like a big thing. He even said this in this video, that he used to be homeless, so he knows what being poor is like, what being broke is like. But let Walters tell it, he wasn't homeless. He was sleeping on somebody's couch in Atlanta. Like, he had a roof over his head. He was just sleeping on someone's couch. Now, me personally, if it's not your home, I guess you can be considered homeless. But Tyler said he used to sleep in his car, and let Walter tell it that's not true. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not true. Yeah, Why Did I Get Married was good. Why Did I Get Married was good. Why Did I Get Married 2? It wasn't as better as 1. A Family That Prays was good. You know what I mean? Like, even Diary of a Mad Black Woman, which I think was his first movie. I mean, it was kind of over the top, but not as bad as what's going on now. And maybe because that was the first movie, so we was like, okay, we haven't seen his plots before, but that wasn't as bad compared to what's been going on now. So yeah, so with that, let me see what you guys are saying. Yeah, it was a good one. That's oh, okay, y'all talking about a whole nother show. But anywho, so with that being said, he said this, and I was really annoyed by what he said, because to me, he's trying to almost, in my opinion, separate black elites from regular black folks. The black elites are judging the regular black folks. The black elites are judging his work. Sir, if you go on YouTube and you look up reviews on your movies, these are everyday black people. Everyday Black people from different walks of life, from down south, country down south, to California, to New York. These are your everyday Black people. So you're not going to change the narrative to make it seem like, oh, it's just pretty much the highbrow Black folks who are actually saying something about me. And nah, don't do that. I just felt like that was a way to kind of do a divide and conquer, in my opinion. And so, did anybody actually watch this Kiki Palmer interview, or did you guys just watch the smaller portion of it? Let me know. Like, did you watch the actual clip that I just showed, or did you watch the entire thing? Because I actually want to show another part of this interview that was quite interesting about what he said as far as writers and stuff is concerned. Tyler watched too much Young and the Restless with his mom back in the day. Girl, Young and the Restless had better story writing and plots than his stuff. Sorry, but they just did. Young and the Restless. Yeah, it was better. It was better. Just the clip. Okay, so I'm gonna show this. And again, fair use, damn it. Fair use. Because I definitely want to talk about this part. Hate when they do this stupid commercial. Let me get the commercial out the way. So then that way I can get back to it. Okay. So I want to play this part. I didn't watch the entire podcast, just saw the clip. Okay. I don't think he's gonna get the message until we stop watching, so he can really understand how important it is to stop doing the same thing. That's very true, Jessica, because like I said, he's in the business of making money. And to me, not making art, but making money. Because to me, true artistry is one. First of all, true artists, they take pride in being as original as possible. They just do. Every artist I know, that's how they are, a true artist. But when you're in the business of making money, and one thing that he did say in this interview is that at first he was just trying to make enough money to take care of his mom, because I guess his mom at the time was really sick and he wanted to retire her. So, desperate times, I guess, calls for desperate measures for some people, and they're willing to do certain things to survive. But I just find it interesting now that he is a billionaire and he's not paying it forward to the people that he knows he got, quote unquote, influence from. Miss Sophia, I think, was in his one movie that Mary J. Blige was in. I think Miss Sophia was in that. But other than that, Miss Sophia hasn't really been in anything Tyler Perry. And again, if you talk to the gay community in Atlanta that's been there since the early 90s, all of them say the same thing. I haven't heard anyone deny it and say, nah, Tyler, no, he didn't do that. Everybody keeps saying the same thing. That was Miss Sophia's character in the clubs. And he used to be in the clubs every single night looking at her, Miss Sophia. And even like I showed you guys the video of Miss Sophia actually giving a story about it. So, it is what it is. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys, and always will be the man, P.O. Victor Newman. No, I haven't watched the whole pack. I said I can't unsee Medea. I don't care what he plays. What did Cat Williams say? They can't play a man to save their life. To him with his shady ass. He said they can't play a man to save their life. And I believe that the best actors need to be in the best roles. He said something like that. But let me show you guys this. Fair use, because I'm going to talk about this and I'm going to have to keep pausing it because I'm not going to be able to play it all the way through. So fair use. Oh, dang it.
When you're juggling all these different hats, I mean, what time do you feel when to push back and to let someone else come in and help you and assist?
Over the last 2 years now, I brought in writers' rooms, and we've had them on the sitcoms, but now I brought them in on the other shows. I've trained enough young directors to be able to understand how to edit and shoot, so they're able to do a huge page count like I can. I've trained them how to watch for waste and time. So now I'm at a place in my life.
Sir, you're training who? You're training directors. Someone needs to train you. Someone needs to train you. See, I think he feels like because he's been successful with money, he's above reproach, just like his actual stan fans. But in my opinion, he can make so much more money if he humbled himself and actually learned from people who've been doing it for a while and even maybe went to school for, or they truly have an amazing gift for it. So then he also mentioned for the past 2 years, he's had writers' rooms. Well, from my understanding, allegedly, his writers are not union. And apparently that's the same thing that happened before with his House of Pain writers. So here's the thing with this. I'm really big on unions, and I've said this before, because you may still get paid more than your average job, even if you're on a non-union gig. But the whole purpose of union is to be able to get health benefits and other benefits, a pension when you retire. Those things are important. So it's like at the end of the day, he's claiming he has writers' rooms for his shows. I don't know if any of you guys watch Sisters or any of those shows that he has, but from my understanding, those shows aren't that damn good either. And no, let's be clear. There are some great writers out there who are not union. You don't have to be union. I think great writers, though, should be able to be eligible for union so they can get the perks of being union. But there are writers out there who are good writers who are not union. But if it's true what I'm hearing, that Sisters and The Oval and all of these shows is still trash writing, and apparently I'm still seeing clips of like crazy things that's being said in the dialogue, that is telling me that maybe that writer's room, they don't really have control like he wants to claim they have control. He claims he has no problem stepping back. I don't necessarily believe that. I think that even with him making it appear that he's stepping back, he's still very controlling, and he still wants the stories and the plots to be the way that he wants them, which is why apparently those shows are still trashy as hell. If you're not letting writers be writers and giving them the creative freedom, and you just want them to do it your way but put their name on it, it's still going to be trashy. It's still going to be what the hell, Yuli? I'm not putting that up there. What rumor? Oh my gosh. Y'all gonna have to do the chat replay to see that, because I ain't posting that. That's a big allegedly. Child. Sisters is trash. Started off good, but Tyler Perry's gonna Tyler Perry eventually. I stopped watching. Well, let him tell it. He's had a writer's room for the past 2 years. After that little clip that he had where he had all of these scripts and he claimed he wrote all of these scripts within a certain amount of time, and then he said work ethic. Well, apparently after people like went ham on him about saying, you know, you got all of these scripts, but it's not, you have all of these scripts, but there's no quality in them. Apparently, I guess that's when he got a writer's room. But clearly there's still no quality. So who's really running the writer's room? Because if he's still running it, that's why it's still trashy. His shows and movies are lacking, very much so. They are lacking. They are lacking. And the sad part about it is, I think a lot of us, and I'm speaking for myself, a lot of us know the potential of what a Tyler Perry name can be. And what I mean by that is, if he truly gave Black creatives more opportunities for his, you know, using his studio and being able to write and being able to direct their way, you know, because directing is an art in itself. Be able to direct their way, write their way, and he can put the money behind them. There's no way in hell you can't tell me he can make more money. He would definitely probably be able to quadruple his money. He would. So in my opinion, it's because he does not want to give up control. That's just what it is. He seems like controlling. And honestly, that's a September Virgo trait. Yeah, I said it. Love y'all, but at the end of the day, if you feel like you got to unfollow me because I said that, then you know it's true. Shit. Let me see. I feel like the writer's room is still him using out. There it is. Because the writer's room means you have several different brains, several different experiences, different skill sets, and you all come together to make a show. Thank you, Shayla. And when you feel like you don't, there's something going on there. There's really something going on. And my thing is this. I could understand when he got first started in his career that he was that way. But now you're a billionaire. You should be able to chill at this point and just allow people to create, put money behind them, and be able to make your money. You should be able to do that. But let me continue.
Life where I'm going, okay, I've got it. I've set that up. They're doing great. I can let them take it. I'm completely fine with stepping back. You know, all of these shows are over 100 episodes. So the characters are developed. I've written all of that. You guys take it and run with it. So I'm at a really good place now. But it's very important to know when to let go. Like for me, I realized at this age is that if I keep holding on to the little things, then it's missing the huge opportunities that I should be focusing on. So you've got to find the right people to take up the banner and run with those areas.
And I love how you're talking about the system that you've created with TP Studios of just being able to train people in your way, because you have a particular way. When I see something that, Tyler Perry presents, I know what I'm going to get as a fan.
Yeah, but his way is ratchet and very lowbrow. Talking about highbrow, very lowbrow. So his way, at the end of the day, it needs work. It is what it is. It needs work. And another thing too, he definitely has helped out a lot of actors. He has. That's what you constantly hear. And that's how he gets his loyalty, especially after the Monique situation. He gets his loyalty by pretty much these actors naming their price, and he gives it to them. And so they actually feel that they know their worth, or they feel that Tyler appreciates their worth with what the money that they're getting. Like, that's what it is. So their loyalty is going to be to Tyler Perry. Like, that's it. Now, here's my question though. How many people started off with Tyler or had one of these big like movies as a lead with Tyler, who has been able to really take their career to a higher level after Tyler? I'll wait. How many actors, and we're talking about actors who literally were like leads, like how many of them have been able to take Tyler Perry's movie and the experience, the reels, the acting they did for that, and was able to take that and really take it to another level as far as like, I don't know, a big TV show, a like blockbuster movie. How many have been able to do that? So I don't know. Something tells me not that many. Now, if you guys can name me one, by all means, because Taraji can't count, because Taraji had already had a name before she did the Tyler Perry stuff. Angela Bassett, same thing. She already had a name. You know what I'm saying? So those people doing those one or two movies, Viola Davis, that wasn't going to make or break their careers. We're talking about those who maybe aren't necessarily A-listers in the Black community, maybe more like C-listers, maybe even B-listers. How many have been able to take that C-list, B-list, or even D-list and be able to climb up to the A-list because of Tyler Perry movies? Yes, I'm sure you have to think very hard, Shayla. No one on his shows ever worked outside his... And I'm going to leave that right there for a minute. So when these type of things happen, who are you really helping? Are you helping you, or are you helping them? Yeah, it's helping them pay their bills. And I appreciate the fact that he's paying these people, of course. But I just feel like he could do so much more. He could do so much more with the resources that he has. He can do so much more with the resources that he has. He doesn't want to. And the question is, why doesn't he want to? Because one thing about somebody who's in the in the business making world. Because to me, it's about business for him, in my opinion. It's not about art. It's about business for him. People who are about business, the best way for them to stay in business is for them to find ways to even make more money when it comes to their business. There's no way in hell. And he even says, I'm gonna try to see if I can find this part. He says something in this interview about how he sees artists and he sees great directors, great writers, but then when he sees what they got paid, it really hurts how much they got paid. I'm gonna try to find it. Let me see. He said, "Yo, you right." I wonder who what is in their contract with him. I don't know if it's, again, this is my opinion. I don't know if it's something that's about what's in their contract. I personally think a lot of people are accepting of Tyler in the industry, but they don't respect Tyler in the industry. Tyler's name is not a name that is known for creating great art. He's creating things, but it's not great art. So at the end of the day, you can definitely go there to get a good check. But is it going to be where other producers in Hollywood are going to look at your resume and look and see that you did a Tyler Perry movie or show and be impressed with that? I don't know if that's the case. And it does almost seem like if you decide to go into that Tyler Perry bubble, you may stay in that bubble. Only a few can get out of that bubble, and that's because they never started in that bubble in the first place. Taraji didn't start in that bubble, and Angela Bassett didn't start in that bubble. Viola didn't start in that bubble. They did one or two projects, got their money, and moved on to other things. But those who really are known for their Tyler Perry work, or they end up getting their careers back, so to speak, because of their Tyler Perry work, you don't really see them doing a lot of stuff after that. It's not like after this they go into like a blockbuster movie or TV show. So I don't think it's necessarily something in the contract, but I just feel like it's like what he has accomplished to be able to get ownership in what he's doing. I think a lot of people respect it, but they don't respect this so-called art. That's what I think it is. If they respected the art, it would be an honor to have a Tyler Perry name on your resume, to where Tyler Perry should definitely be able to get to the point. Should be able to get to the point where he has brought in so many people who create movies and stuff under his name and their amazing work, that when you see Tyler Perry's name, you have Hollywood wanting to get those writers, get those actors. That's the way it should be, to where people see his name and be like, oh, you worked with Tyler for this movie with that writer, with that director. Oh, we got to get that person because they did an excellent job. And Tyler Perry's just the producer and the money behind it. That's the way it should be. I think that people be seeing them resumes and be like, oh, damn, they did a Tyler Perry movie. Like, I don't think it's, yeah, okay, let's talk about that. Lance Gross, he was on The House of Pain. I think he may have did a movie too. What did he do after that? What blockbuster stuff has he done after that? Hey, Vanna. I'm sorry I didn't see you. Hey, Vanna. What stuff has he done? What has he done? What has he done? What is he known for? Y'all let me know. And China, you talking about the girl who was on Daddy's Little Girls? Is that who you're talking about? What is she known for? And also, Kiki Palmer she can't be included in that either. Because I believe Kiki Palmer did not only, I think, Akeelah and the Bee before the Medea movie. I think she did Akeelah and the Bee before the Medea movie, or she did it around that time. And she was also in The Barbershop. Kiki had been working for a minute as a child actress before she got to the Medea thing. So she's also someone who didn't start in that bubble as well. Hey, MCD, Shayna girl. Hey. Talking about, don't you do them sister reviews? Be honest with me. What's going on with Sisters? Do you think it's good writing? Because I was just talking about that. It's funny how you came in at this time. Is Sister good writing? Because, you know, Tyler claimed he got a writer's room now for Sisters, I suppose, or all of his TV shows. He said he has writer's rooms. So you let me know how good it is, because I know you do reviews on Sisters. But yeah, y'all let me know, because I can't think of any one person who got their career started or was able to get a quote unquote comeback in their career based on the paycheck and stuff. I just don't know who has been able to take their experience from Tyler Perry and be able to just go above and beyond after that. I think she ended up being a big star on Display. You mean Disney Channel? The Disney Channel? Was she already a star on the Disney Channel? Yeah, okay. I figured you. No, it's okay. I figured you meant that. But yeah, so is she still a big star? Because the problem is she ain't of my age, so I don't know. So did she start off with him and end up becoming a big Disney star? And Lance, yeah, you gotta let me know what Lance has done outside of Tyler that kind of took. Shayla says she's still thinking. Yes, I reviewed that nonsense. We've been on the same story. Okay. So yeah, Shayna, she does reviews on Sisters, and yeah. Yes, it has so much potential. And he claims he has a writer's room now. I don't think Corey will get another big acting gig like this. Well, see, the thing is he was considered one of the leads. And I think on an actual interview, he said that's the most he's ever made. In like, I think he worked like in 3 weeks or whatever. But again, one thing I will say before I get back to this video, one thing I will say, Denzel Washington said something like a long time ago that I thought was very important that all actors and actresses should hear, especially minority actors, black actresses, Hispanic, because we don't get that many opportunities. They said, like he said, the first 3 or so gigs that you select will determine. I think he said something of the nature of what the first 3 films, be very wise about the first 3 films or something you select, because that will determine how your future goes in as far as the business is concerned. Like he said that there was definitely times where he had to turn something down, I guess, because it wasn't of the caliber that he wanted. And while, you know, he was a struggling artist at the time, he waited and it paid off because he was able to get very, you know, decent, amazing type of stories on his resume, which led him to him always having great movies. So he said something like that. And I think a lot of the times out of desperation, because of course, a lot of us don't come from money. You see someone dangling this big check in your face, you're willing to take it. And especially if it's a nice check and you're doing something that you love, yeah, you're willing to take it. But the problem is it depends on what you're trying to do as far as your career and where you're trying to go as far as your career. You know what I mean? So yes, it had potential, but he always ruined shows like the Half and Half Nots. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing was on Blacklight on Netflix and did okay. And that was after she was on Tyler. Okay. Now, is she considered a lead big star, Jessica? Is she considered like a big deal? You know what I mean? Because I don't know. I remember her on Daddy's Little Girls, but I don't know where she is now. Like, is she considered, I don't know, Ariana Grande type of girl or whatever, and she's reached that height? Tyler told us to settle with men who can only afford the light bill. Yeah, I talked about that too, Shayna. I talked about that too. And meanwhile, he just did this movie, Divorce in the Black, and pretty much scared the hell out of any woman to date down. Because literally, I'm like, you're going to tell us he only can pay the light bill. But in this movie, she dated down and she got pure hell. You know what I'm saying? 2 other movies called Descendants 2 and 3, and that's about it. I got nieces around her age that love her. Okay. But again, is she big? Being in those movies is great. I'm not saying they don't get things after that. I'm just saying, do they careers go to a skyrocket level after Tyler. Like Tyler should be able to have that brand recognition and the quality of his stuff at this point where if you get a gig with him, you know your career is about to go to the next level. You see what I'm saying? That's the way it should be. He's a freaking billionaire. He should be able to do that at this point. But the only person, in my opinion, like Cat Williams said, whose name keeps going to a higher level is Tyler Perry, not anyone else. Yes, she stars in all other things I just named, and Black Lightning is really good, actually. Yeah, okay, I know she's in it, but is she the lead? Has her career, not that she's been able to still work, has she been able to go to higher heights, is what I'm saying. Like, was she able to, hell, who's a known kid? Like Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande started off on Nickelodeon, unfortunately, and then her career just catapulted, like it just went to another level. That's what I'm saying. Not that she's still been able to work, but that her career has reached heights that are out of this world. You know what I mean? Like that type of thing, like constant lead type of roles. She's not A-list. Okay, I'm not running to the box office to see China. Shayla, let me get back to this video, y'all. I'm gonna see if I can find that part of what I was talking about, but let's see.
Fan that has been a fan for all of these decades. When it comes to your craft and your style, how much of that your choice to own was to also be able to control your creativity with the projects and not allow other people to take it? Yeah.
Well, that's ownership for me. It's everything, the creativity of it, what's put on screen, how it goes, and so on and so forth. And you know, early on, I was taking a lot of heat because, oh, this was wrong and that was wrong, but people didn't understand that I didn't have the budgets that everybody else had. And what is important about that, hear me clearly, because when I would do a show, the first thing I do is go buy a camera, go buy a light, go buy this. We're renting. How much did we spend renting this stuff? Buy it. So I started buying all of this stuff and buying all these equipment. So now when I'm doing a movie, I'm renting it to myself.
Okay. I do like this portion of what he was saying, though, as far as ownership and, use what you have and what you have by your means or however you can afford certain things. Just start somewhere. And it's important to have ownership. I do appreciate that because he does talk about how when Hollywood approached him because he was selling out all of these freaking like theaters for the Medea plays, he said ownership was important to him, but he also didn't need Hollywood. He could walk away from the table because he didn't need them. He already had a huge following when it came to the Medea plays. So it was kind of like if Hollywood says no as far as ownership, I could just get up and get the hell up out of there. So I do like the fact that he talked about that. I do find it interesting, though, that apparently and allegedly, and I think a couple people have mentioned this from videos that I've seen, why hasn't there been another deal like that? I think Tyler Perry may be one of the only Black people, currently at least, maybe, or at least has face recognition. He's probably one of the only people who has that type of ownership. So why is it that he's one of the only ones who has that type of ownership? But let me see if I can fast forward to what I want to.
It's forever coming back to you. Don't just go in and sell your soul because they think, oh, this is how it is. No, that's not how it goes.
Yeah.
It's not how it goes. Yeah.
And don't think that you have to start already having it all together. I think that's an important thing. Just start with what you have.
Do the best with what you have. Do the absolute best you can with what you have. Take the heat, take the hits, and keep getting better and better and better and better. And the great thing about my
problem is you haven't gotten better and better and better, Tyler. You may have gotten better with the cameras. You may have gotten better with the equipment, but the stories haven't gotten better. In fact, they're getting worse. So what the hell is going on here?
Audience, man, is that they have been with me from day one going, Tyler, you need to fix this. Tyler, that was good. Tyler, we love that. Oh, he getting better now. Y'all watch him, So I love it.
Okay, so I can't find where he actually talked about it, but he did say in here, and you guys definitely check it out. It's on Kiki's podcast page. But he says something of the effect of when he sees directors and writers and stuff doing amazing work, and then he sees how much they got paid, it really hurts him or whatever the case may be, because, ownership is important. And if they really took the time to be about ownership, they would get more money. Now, that's kind of what he said in a nutshell. But what I find interesting is that he could be that one to help these creatives. And I think that's the thing. If you're big about ownership, then bring people on, these people that you claim you've seen that are so amazing directors and writers, let them have ownership. You be the vessel, because you can still have ownership in your stuff, and the person that invests in you can still make their money. There's no way in hell Lionsgate did a deal with him and they're not making money off of him, even with him making a lot of money, because he still has ownership. So he could still get paid off of the people who still have ownership in their stuff. So I find it interesting that he said he's hurt when these directors and these writers, they have amazing projects and they're not getting that much money because they don't have ownership. Well, Tyler, you can help with that. And I think that's the thing. It comes off like it's very narcissistic and selfish, because you could be that vessel. You could be that person for so many Black creatives, but you refuse to. Unless there is a miracle, and maybe, just maybe, Tyler is about to step back and decide to allow people to actually do that. And he just puts the money behind it and they can do it at his studio. Maybe he's about to do that. Tyler should have the effect, and definitely hit the like button on the way in. Tyler should have the effect Oprah had on people getting talk shows they automatically had hit shows. You're talking about like Dr. Phil, for example, right? That's what you mean. Like anytime she brought someone on, they would eventually. That is an excellent example, Nene. Excellent example. Because one thing about Oprah, if she was behind you and put you on her show, yeah, it kind of led to something else. Even didn't Ayanna Van Zandt, didn't she start off on Oprah and she ended up getting her own show? That's the type of effect Tyler really could have. He really could have it. I don't know if he wants it though. I think to a certain extent he's very controlling. I think he is. I think he does not want to let go. That's why this stuff continues to give us bullshit. Let me see. I haven't seen her star in anything else after that. No. Oh, you're talking about China. Yeah. He said he learned a lot of that ownership stuff from Oprah. If you ask me, it seems like he learned from it and he was able to perfect it even better than Oprah, because he kind of went up quickly as far as his him becoming, his net worth. He's a billionaire. I don't necessarily think he has $1 billion in his account, but I think what he learned from Oprah and other people, he was able to master it. And that's why he became so successful so quickly once he was able to get into the whole plays and the Hollywood game. So yeah, he definitely learned from them and he was able to take it and run with it. That's for sure. Now, again, people have their opinions on what he was able to take and run with, like other people's alleged, artistry. But, he's been able to build an empire. He has, so that's one thing I will say about him. But I don't like the fact of what he said about these highbrow Negroes who literally are looking down at regular folks, like folks that he, grew up around, or how he grew up. I think that's BS. And don't we already have enough of that in our community, where they try to say it's the Black bourgeoisie versus the quote unquote regular Black folks? We already have that. And I truly feel like it's gaslighting. It's manipulative, because I'm thinking it's not highbrow people that are so-called judging you. It's regular Black folks who decided to sit their asses down and take time out of their day to watch your movie and didn't like it and gave their opinions on it. That's it. That's all. But I think people who kind of are narcissistic, and I'm sorry, he just gives me those vibes, they are real quick to manipulate situations and make it into something else. So they don't have to take any type of critique or accountability. As soon as he started mentioning God, I was like, see, this is a way for him to say back off. Because if he's saying, well, God told him to do this, you're not going to argue with God. You're not going to argue with him saying God called him to do this. Now, last time I checked, God ain't going to call you to do some of these movies that you're doing. But I think he does that because it's a way to tell people to back off, because God has me on a mission. I think that's what he's doing. But I didn't like that highbrow Negro stuff. And I definitely don't understand how someone can say the highbrow Negro looking down on people and you living in $100 million mansion on top of a damn hill somewhere. So come on. Like, I'm thinking, like, who's the highbrow Negro? Because, baby, everything in your resume would say that you highbrow. And you know that to me. Exactly, Shayla. Do you think Oprah is still as powerful as she used to be? Because notice a lot of people don't really like her no more. Yeah. And that's the thing. That's why it's interesting how this whole game works. You know, it's interesting because at one point Oprah was seen as untouchable. She really was. It just shows you that you got to be mindful. Everybody don't stay on top forever. They don't stay on top forever. I think a lot of people, you know, and I don't know where she lost her credibility, but a lot of people don't look at Oprah as the end all be all no more. And that could also come with age and new people coming into play. But you know, I don't know. And let some people tell it, because you know, I listen to a lot of different perspectives. Let some people tell it she never really had the power in the first place. She was just the face of the power. That's what people say. Because even Monique said, if you really had that much power, you would be able to do X, Y, and Z. So do you really have the power? You know, and you just don't want to help your fellow sisters, or do you not have the power and you're just the face? Exactly. Don't bring God into this. He's a highbrow that works in the chitlin circuit. Shayla going in. I think Oprah is still held in high regards in business. Social media people don't like her. Yeah. I mean, at this point, because Oprah doesn't even own any parts of the OWN network anymore, doesn't she? Didn't she sell off her share of OWN network? So, I mean, at this point, you know, besides her sometimes producing movies, what does Oprah do? Is she producing other people's shows right now? Like, I'm curious. And I'm asking like legitimately. I'm asking if she does, or she just at this point retired and chilling. Oh, just like he was trying to tell Black women to basically date down and settle. Yeah, exactly. Shayna was talking about that just a minute ago. And I had that video also. And I gave my opinion on it when he was saying that basically they need to date down. Look. But then you always give us a movie where you're pretty much saying when a woman dates down, it's about like Divorcing the Black. What did Megan Good character do? She dated down. That guy was the scum of the earth in their freaking town. He was no good. She came from a good 2-parent household and she dated down, and look what happened. You know what I mean? And it's like, but oh yeah, remember though, in the beginning, he also had the big plot for him in the beginning was you get the wealthy, successful Black man who's literally treating you like ish. Remember that? You had the no good Black man treating you like ish, but then you find the guy who is just the garbage man, or what was freaking Shamar Moore's character? What did he do? Hell, I don't even know what he did. Did they ever say what kind of job he had? A painter or something like that? But you can find you a good man. But even though garbage man actually they can make pretty good money wherever they at. But the whole point is he was trying to say, if you want a successful man that's going to treat you like shit, or a good man who can only pay the light bill. He was doing that at first. Now he done switch it up with Divorcing the Black. I haven't seen the other movies, but Divorcing the Black is about how dating down goes wrong and marrying down goes wrong because you're not evenly yoked. So at the end of the day, he's always going to resent you because of your upbringing. and your jobs and everything else. So that's why it's just like, your messages, sir, don't make no damn sense to me. I know Shayla she is hilarious. Right. He needs to make the message clear. Hey, thank you. And that's the problem. He give you so many messages in one movie. At the end of the movie, you're like, now what's the take on it? Hell, I don't know. Because he gave us several different messages. I don't know. Because Divorced in the Black, I was like, to me, it's don't date down. Get the signs that he was crazy and cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs in the first place. And another thing that he was giving, pastors are judgmental as hell. Because like I said, that scene with the funeral, baby, that pastor was wrong. I don't care where you feel somebody's soul went. It is not you. It is not your responsibility being a voice of so-called, the Bible or whatever the case may be. You should not be telling a family in front of the mama that her child went to hell. Sorry, I don't know where they do that at. So you definitely pretty much showed us that church people are judgmental as hell. The pastor will embarrass you. He gave us so many freaking negative stereotypes. I don't know what the hell to do with them. He was a mover. Okay, yes, that's right. He was a mover because he was the one trying to help her move out with her stuff that night when she got kicked out. That's right. Shayla says she was a mover. Jessica says he was a welder. You see how confusing it is? You see how we're so confused? We don't get clear characters and stories up in Tyler Perry movies. Because Helen at the end of the movie came to his job, remember? Right. And see, that's another thing too. I think Tyler truly wanted to be the star. He wants to be the star because even in all of his Madea movies, who's really the highlight of the movie? Madea. Everyone else is a freaking supporting cast. Madea is the highlight. People are waiting to see Madea on the screen. So that's what I'm saying. It's about Tyler. And I wish people would just be honest when they want it to be about them. It's about him. And he seems like he's very comfortable in making it about him. So just be honest. Shit. Just be honest and say it's about me. You know what I'm saying? I was a child who, we clearly know somewhat of his story about how his father treated him and things like that. He probably never felt special. And because of that, he got into this game however he could. And now he feels special. So this is what he wanted. And maybe that's it. Maybe that's what he wants. He wanted to be the big Hollywood star. Because even at one point when he ended up doing, what was it, that Alex Cross movie? And I don't even think he wrote that movie, had anything to do with that movie. I think he actually had somebody, he wanted to get that role. And that's when I knew then. I said, this is truly, Tyler wants to be a star. He wants to be known. He wants to be that guy. And again, maybe your ministry is being that guy for being a vessel and being a financial support to other people. You know what I mean? Like, because there's big Hollywood producers who do that all the time. They have their names attached to some of the best movies of our time, and they get so much respect behind that. But I think Tyler wants to have all of those names, director, producer, and writer, because he craves that attention. He craves that spotlight. And so when you have that, you get Tyler Perry movies and TV shows. And I personally don't think he wants to give, like I said, the creative control away. Because how do you have a writer's room and your stuff is still this bad? You know what? Never mind. Let's not forget, I ain't the biggest fan of some of the Power franchises. And they got a damn writer's room. So I guess it can happen. Shit. It can happen. Because Courtney Kemp is not even affiliated. Like, she still gets paid from Power because she created the whole Power universe, but she's no longer in those writers' rooms. And so, yeah, so I guess it could be that you could be out of the writer's room and have no input and still have horrible writing. So it's possible. But I don't know. I let me ask y'all this: those who watch Power and those who watch Tyler Perry shows, which ones are better? Y'all let me know. Tyler wants to be a star. Yes, he does. He does. He wants to be the star. That he definitely, it's all about him. And again, sorry again, you September Virgos. Now, my two September Virgo friends is gonna be like Heffa, but they already know. Like they already know how it is with me. Like we've been rocking for years, but those are the only ones I've been able to rock with, and it stays that way. But some of y'all September Virgos, y'all dark side of September Virgos, it is all about you. You have a very narcissistic personality. Like Nene said, Jada's a Virgo, September Virgo. We know it's about her. You know, Tyler Perry, like y'all truly, y'all make it seem like it's about other people, but it's still rooted in you. It's about you. I just want them to be honest about it. Like, don't try to front like it ain't about you. It is about you. Just be honest with it. I respect honesty. But with that being said, you guys definitely watch the Kiki. One thing I will say about this, Kiki Palmer, first of all, that baby girl stay working. She works. She been working since she was a child, but also she did an excellent interview. She really did. Like the questions she asked and how she was engaged and as far as him talking and, you know, being able to follow up with what he said after that, she did a really good job. So it's like a 55-minute, it's a 55-minute interview. Well, the first 20 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, is her and her mother. You know what I mean? So like literally, it's her and her mother. So you can kind of skip through that. She has it time stamped. So if you skip through that, you'll be able to get to his interview part, which is probably like 30 minutes of it. She did a really good job. So bravo to Kiki. She did an excellent job when it came to this. That girl stayed working. She gonna get multiple checks. She don't play. She definitely doesn't play. I'm not a fan of either, but I did enjoy the and have nots though. I never even attempted to watch it. The last show that I attempted to watch to give it a chance was The House of Pain when it first came on. And then like maybe after the first couple of episodes, I was done. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. That was the only show ever liked of his. Okay. There's a Dr. Phil episode where a woman is catfished by a fake Tyler Perry and she thinks he stole her eggs. What the heck? Oh, Psyche awakens. Hello. I love your humor. I remember you from last week. You are hilarious. I cannot I can believe that happened on Dr. Phil though, but oh my gosh. But yeah, wow. Wow. But again, that just proves cult-like following. Cult-like following. Only a cult-like following will somebody sit up there and have a catfish of Tyler Perry and all of that nonsense. Like, yeah, that's a cult like following. Yes, I love Kiki Palmer down. I'm definitely gonna have to watch the whole thing. I actually watch her podcast. Yeah, check it out. Check it out. Like Kiki Palmer, that is definitely now again, this is what we know from what we see again, because we don't know her behind the scenes, but from what we've seen, she has been well adjusted as far as being a childhood actor to an adult, and she has been very consistent in this business. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I respect Kiki for how she's been able to handle herself. And her parents clearly did a great job because as we know, we have definitely seen childhood actors and stars grow up and be a freaking hot ass mess. So kudos to her parents and Kiki for, keeping her stable and being about her business besides that drama she had with her baby daddy. That's a whole nother story. But before that, she kind of kept a low profile besides people trying to compare her to like Zendaya's and stuff like that. But I like the fact that she's a melanated sister. you know, black mama, black daddy, who's out there doing her thing, has been working since she was a little girl. Yes, you are hilarious. All right, Shayla girl, I'm about to get off of here too. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. And please let me know what you think. Some of you guys may think I'm wrong. Be respectful though, because I'm sure the cult-like following of Tyler Perry would come on here talking shit. Be respectful. I can definitely hear different opinions and we can engage and talk as long as you're respectful. Remember, you know, don't argue at anyone else. Just argue the topic, debate the topic. Don't argue with me or other people in my crew. But I would like to know your opinion on this. But I definitely didn't like, he truly took it and twisted it and tried to make it seem like the black elite or highbrow snobby people were looking down on his work. And to me, it almost kind of makes it seem like I could see how what he would consider the hard-working, grinding 9 to 5, like he said, maids and stuff like that. To me, it's almost trying to come off like he's trying to tell those people, these uppity black people are looking down on you and your stories. And I don't like that. We already have enough division out there. We don't need this extra bullshit. Like, we really don't. So yeah, Tyler Perry, you just, everybody, I don't care if they're elite, I don't care if they have your average 9 to 5, I don't care if they're attorneys or whatever. A lot of people said the same thing, you know, and everybody has a right to critique your work. That's the whole point of this business, and anything that you put out there, they have every right to critique it, but not the way you're trying to describe it. I didn't like it at all. But with that being said, you guys, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you on my next video. Toodles.